midweek, we got into a little argument. Dan said that he doesn't think that PSG can make top 4 in the Prem.
Man,
do you guys agree with that?
That's the craziest comment.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, Man City.
I would like to hear Dan say.
Like I mentioned again.
That's the most reactionary comment I've ever heard.
Like I mentioned again. Yeah, Man City. I'm not saying I'm not saying they're. I'll say this again. I'm not saying they're not going to make top 4. I'm saying it can be a fight for top 4.
Okay, but with that, so you're saying Man United's better than PSG?
I'm not saying they're better. I'm saying there's a competition there because when it comes to head against both of them, they're both 2 for 2. 2 for 4, sorry.
Where's United finishing in that top
so
4?
2 for 4. No, that's what I'm going to say. They're 2 for 4. Man U sometimes loses to bottom table teams. PSG, you've seen you loses to bottom table teams. It just comes down when they're in league battles. Man U and PSG, when it comes to head, they'll draw equal 1-1, 1-0, or whatever. They'll have one game each. Just the way the last 4 games have been. They both won 2 games. I'm just saying they're 50-50 right now. But when it comes to facing other teams in the table and losing points like that, it's harder. It's not like Champions League, like I said. The league is definitely harder than it is to compare to Champions League. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's hard to compare the 2 different leagues like that. You don't know how United's going to perform against like Stade Rennais or how a PSG is going to perform.
So look at this. PSG comes to semifinals in Champions League. They're second place right now. Lille, how far do they go into Europa League?
I don't know.
Round of 16 or
exactly.
quarters?
So how is a top playable team? How are you gonna? So from paper, you say yes, PSG is a better team than Lille because they're in Champions League semifinals, but Lille got knocked out in round of 16. But yet the table, they're in first place.
The season's not done yet.
Okay, but I'm saying right now, there's 3 games left. If Lille wins all next 3 games, they're champions.
Okay, but
Man U
PSG don't finish first. So you're still saying they're
comparing Lille to now Man U. Man U now in the Europa League finals. They're second in the table, second from a Man City side, which is literally the best right now in the world in this year. I can definitely say the best team right now in the year of 2020 season. And below them, you have Leicester, who's definitely world class too. But again, they're having they lose a couple games here and there, some competition. Besides that, you have who's in 4th place right now? Chelsea too. Finals. You know what I mean? If Tuchel started this Chelsea management from the beginning of the season, they can definitely be 1st or 2nd place right now too.
Yeah,
because you can tell. No, because the thing is that too. Like, PSG and Man City and Chelsea, they played a couple weeks ago. Then did Chelsea not beat them? I think 1-0.
Yeah,
it was for the FA Cup or something like that. Like we'll check this weekend too. They'll check this weekend too. Dude,
it's hard to compare like just like single results against single results because it's like it's never gonna like you don't play the same teams. It's like you play every team twice in the league and it's always gonna be like sometimes those tight games and it's like I don't want to say PSG would guarantee to get top 4 in the Prem. I think they would definitely be a strong favorite too. But man, like even if we think at the beginning of this season, man, how many of us said Liverpool or Spurs or teams like that, they're going to finish top. You never know what's going to happen.
I didn't, to be honest.
Season. Yeah, okay, that's you. But a lot of people definitely had Liverpool top.
Yeah, but this is not. We're not including injuries in this top. Okay, I guess you can include injuries.
But speaking of injuries, PSG also had injuries throughout their season, and they had another manager come in. They were going through a transition between managers. And they had injuries. They had Neymar injured, and Mbappe injured.
And other players every team has injuries. Every team has injuries. But that's no. But tell me this.
Liverpool, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like
exactly. Back to Liverpool, and that too.
They've had injuries, and they don't have the depth to kind of.
And it comes down to how you financially support your team. If you're gonna depend on 2 players to really carry you throughout the season, like as it can easily in the league, have they passed in the past how many 3-4 years they've been winning now? When you come to the Premier League team. Premier League season, put PSG into this side. If you injure Neymar and Mbappe, like they're done for the half of the season. I'm sure you're definitely going to lose so many points there too.
Yeah, but you can say it for any team besides Man City.
Any team as well too.
But when it comes down to any team though, well, like
maybe even Chelsea too.
Yeah, Chelsea
are a very deep team.
But that's the thing. Yeah, like, a lot of these teams in the Premier League are pretty deep when it comes to injuries and stuff like that. A lot of these teams can.
I wouldn't say so. Leicester, they lose 2 players. Yeah. They're not making it.
Yeah.
Man United, they lose 2 players. They're not making it.
Spurs lose Kane and Son. They're done.
Yeah, but look,
two
where's
teams
Spurs
that
now?
I
I'm not.
think
I'm
in
talking
the
about
league,
Man
you're seeing
U,
them in
Man
the finals
City.
now.
I'm talking about Man U,
Only
Man City.
Man City and Chelsea have a shout for not dropping
City
out
and
top
Chelsea
four.
are probably the deepest teams like in the world right now. Because if you look at like the players on their roster, okay, maybe they don't have like even especially if you look at Chelsea, maybe they don't have like that ultra world class like attacker or ultra world class like defender. But it's like,
Well,
if
that's
you-
Thiago
if you-
Silva.
but still, like if you go and like if you replace one of those players with another player on the team, the drop off in quality isn't that much, right? Let's say for example, if you swap out, let's say Havertz for Mount or Havertz for Ziyech or Werner for Tammy or Werner for Giroud, they're different types of players. But like when they go out on the field, they can both contribute very similarly. You know what I mean? Like they can still have an impact on the game. But it's like, for example, if you look at a team like let's say Liverpool, where let's say Van Dijk gets hurt, and then you're throwing in Nat Phillips, right? Or let's say, for example, if you're looking at maybe, for example, I don't know, like if you look at United, let's say if Cavani gets injured, then you're throwing in Martial, and these days Martial isn't that great of a player.
But we played games. We played games without Martial up there. We played games with Greenwood up top. But I'm saying is that
How
when
about
it comes
Bruno leaves that team? What happens?
okay when Neymar
Yeah,
if Neymar
like-
leaves that team, what you can say that about any
It's-
But
team.
look, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. They don't have depth in certain positions.
But I can tell you right now, the top 4 teams in the Premier League, if we say Chelsea, Man City, Man U, and a healthy Liverpool,
Leicester.
let's just say the bigger teams we think right now with a little bit more depth, and then you put PSG in there. Who has more depth?
I think PSG still makes top 4.
Man, you're telling me right now you're going to start Icardi up top when he only has one shot.
No, Icardi's wouldn't be starter.
Okay,
It's so hard to compare because you don't know how these other players are going to play in a league format in a different kind of league.
man.
You don't know if Icardi's going to get 30 goals or 2 goals in the season.
I have a
But
comment though.
when has he gotten 30 goals?
Go on, Jay. Go on.
I'm just saying.
When has he gotten 30 goals? He's never set.
I just put a number out there.
But he's not
No, how many
that
players?
but he's not that kind
He
of
had some
striker
good
though.
seasons in Serie A, but it's I don't know. I think it's tough because even if you look at the Premier League this season, it's like you're looking at teams like Leicester and West Ham are near the top 5, and it's like realistically speaking, PSG are better than both of those teams. You can probably handpick a lot of teams from other top leagues that are better than those teams, and it's like then you can make an argument they can make top 4, right? Like that's why the Premier League is kind of an interesting league because it's like a lot of teams have very high expectations, but a lot of times they go into the season and they shit the bed. And it's like they have these high big name players on big name wages, and maybe they just get overrated a little bit and they get beaten by those teams like West Ham or Leicester who you don't really expect to lose against. And the next thing you know, your Spurs in like what eighth or ninth place, your Arsenal in 10th place, your Chelsea maybe not making top 4 potentially, right? Like it's you can't really just you can't compare. You can't just take a team from Liga and put them in the Premier League and say they will or they won't, because like I think like Alex said in the chat, it's like a 38 game season. It's like so much is going to go on. Like there's so much unpredictability. Like you don't know who. Like you could like PSG can go and play United. United can beat them both times, but then United can go lose 2 games to Burnley or 2 games to West Brom.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
But now with
right?
this comment, now it says Alex here says you see PSG don't have depth, but they don't need it for the Liga. If they moved to APL, they would probably different conversation and player. But wasn't their plan since winning the league to always go and start winning Champions League games? When it comes down to Champions League games, you're facing competition from different leagues, and you want to have competitive competition when it comes to that league too.
Yeah, let's put a little respect on PSG. Like,
No.
They made the final last year. Like
They're no farmers.
like,
No, they're not foreigners too, but like I'm just saying, like when it comes down to it, like for example, Man City too. Like Man City, they're clearly one of the better teams during the Champions League finals right now, but they lose games against Chelsea, they lose games against Leeds, they lose games against Man U, they lose games against Tottenham and even Leicester too.
It's like that for every team, bro.
But I'm just saying. I'm not saying PSG can't make top 4. I'm just saying it's going to be hard for them to make top 4.
I don't think so.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
They cannot. I'm telling you right now, they will not. And that's all I'm saying is that they could, but it's going to be a competition for them because again, it's a season. It's just 38 games. Big teams lose to small teams. I can see here.
Okay.
That's
Last.
But again, it comes down to injuries.
Okay, hold on.
It comes down
if you
to
have name your
depth.
top 4, who would place top 4 if PSG was in your league? Name them first, second, third, fourth.
If you're talking about like form right now with the players that are available and like non-injuries or anything like that, or you're talking about like
on paper.
On paper,
On paper, they come second.
they
Like,
don't.
On paper?
Okay, go.
No,
Wait.
they
I
not.
want to hear his top four.
No,
name
they
your four.
not.
Name your four.
Man
Name your
City,
four.
Man City first. Chelsea maybe second because they're definitely probably a better team than Man U right now with their form.
On paper?
What do you mean on paper? It's called quality. Have you seen PSG versus Chelsea form?
We just said not form. We just said no injuries and on paper.
On paper too. Who does PSG have? Just Neymar and Mbappe.
Bro, look at Chelsea's team on paper. It's not that good on paper.
Chelsea's team with the management they have.
On paper, it's not that good.
If you see a PSG and Chelsea go head to head, who's gonna win that game? I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be Chelsea because the way they play.
PSG is not just Neymar and Mbappe. They have one of the best goalies in the world. Marquinhos, top 5 center back in the world this season.
Okay.
They have Verratti, underrated midfielder. Neymar and Mbappe.
And you're telling me PSG can't go and beat a Man City side defensive that play a strong defensive game, and they're gonna go up against Chelsea who have an even better defensive game.
But look at you. You're basing it off of one game that just happened.
Chelsea have been playing. Have how many clean sheets does Chelsea have? How many clean sheets does Chelsea have since Tuchel has come into the league?
Yeah, they're a better side right now. I'm not arguing that. I said on paper.
On paper too. I'm telling you right now. On paper, from what I've seen right now, the Chelsea paper side is better than the PSG side.
If they were better on paper, what about that? It's the same team Lampard had, and they were trash.
But
on paper, they're not good.
On paper, I put Tuchel as manager, not Lampard, and it makes a big difference.
That's not the team. That's the manager. I'm not with the team. The players.
So does management not make a difference? Clearly,
we're talking about the players on the team.
Yeah, like I think
you can't just say. Okay, but you can't just say. No. You can't just say. Just because
you argue that PSG have a better side.
You can't just say PSG because they have Mbappe and Neymar.
With the management, I think PSG with Tuchel beat Chelsea with Tuchel. If you have both squads with the same manager somehow in this hypothetical situation, PSG is gonna win. Tuchel,
it's that simple. It's literally that simple.
Tuchel is head and shoulders above Pochettino.
But again,
Pochettino sucks.
But we're saying right now, like again, there's people. Frigid is saying Chelsea easily beating PSG. Chelsea is definitely a more organized team. They're definitely,
and that's because of their manager.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Right now, top four, it's not PSG is not second.
Yeah, right now for sure Chelsea. But we were talking about on paper.
Okay, but why are you giving me on paper for? I don't care what's on paper. I'm caring what I see on football on the floor when it's being played.
Okay, that's not what we said though.
No, but I've always been saying for in form right now. I don't care about paper. No one cares about paper. I'm just telling you right now in form. What I see, PSG is not making second place in Premier League side.
Okay, no, but what's your four though?
That's really easy.
I was gonna come on and say that, and then Jay comes out here saying on paper. I don't care what's on paper. On paper, yeah, Neymar is better than Mbappe.
They just got knocked out of Champions League. Of course, they're not good right now. They just got knocked out.
Okay, but they're clearly second in the league. I'm telling you from just what I've seen this season. Like you said, you lose Mbappe or Neymar, the team's going to start losing points.
You lose any team's best players, you're obviously going to lose
points. But they only have two quality best players.
They're not making the final.
Okay, maybe and Conte, it's a big difference because Conte was definitely one of the better players there. But
like Neymar,
no, but hey, they have Kovacic who can easily replace and fill in the box. Who can? No one can replace Conte. Hey, but in the midfield, when it comes to it, Kovacic is probably a good replacement for Conte compared to someone who can replace Neymar. Who can replace Neymar?
Exactly. You just proved the point.
But who does PSG to replace Neymar? No one.
Exactly.
And Chelsea have Kovacic who can replace Conte.
Neymar's irreplaceable, bro.
Okay, then I'm telling you right now, they're not second place. Man City, Chelsea, Man U, and they can fight for fourth.
Wow.
I don't think Man U finishes higher than them.
That's crazy.
When it comes down to the last 4 games, they both won 2 games each. I don't know who you can tell me that one game is better than
one team finished first in the group, one team finished third in the group.
By 3 points from one game. All Man U had to do.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, but all Man U, look you get 38 games.
If you're basing it off of 38 games,
I'm not.
They played 6 games, and PSG ended up with more points than Man United.
But not head to head.
Man U lost to a team that just got relegated in the Turkish league.
Okay, and Man U again. Man U have bad games, but again, like you said, leagues have 38 games.
PSG just had a bad game against Man City.
2 games.
Oh, 2. Okay, one more game.
They clearly had 2 bad games.
1.5.
I don't know if I'm arguing here. Like, yes, there's 38 games. Injuries play a big role. A lot more teams have more depth than the PSG side do. Like, you know what I mean? What if Paredes and Herrera get injured in the middle? Who's going to play midfield? Like
Gaya, Danilo Pereira,
Danilo
Marquinhos,
Pereira is not a
Verratti.
midfielder.
Even
Oh my
Marquinhos can.
god! You're gonna tell me that Danilo Pereira can replace a Paredes or Herrera when it goes forward?
You just took out 2 midfielders, bro. Like, how many teams have so many midfielders at their squad like that?
But that can attack more offensively more than the other. If you put Danilo Pereira, he's not gonna play attackingly how Herrera or Paredes do.
Well, it depends what kind of style you're trying to play.
I'm telling you right now, and anyone will tell you they're not making. They're gonna have to fight for top 4.
I don't know about anyone.
Anyone?
I don't know
No.
about that.
Only.
And Frigid 2 says better management. United beat PSG
Yeah,
2. Yeah,
He's a Man
United would beat
United
PSG.
Is these Prem fans?
Yes, Winter Session does the manager not count? That's part of the paper. This obviously they do because when you write a team sheet down, you write the manager and then the rest of his team.
I think it's very unfair to say that they wouldn't make top 4 with ease.
I'm not
I think
saying
make
they
top 4
wouldn't.
with ease.
Not with ease.
No,
Not with
I
ease.
said it with ease.
I'm
Yes,
not,
I think with ease.
I'm saying no. I'm just saying no.
I think Man City, if Chelsea had Tuchel.
Yes, they do have Tuchel because it is.
Okay,
yes,
no.
Right now.
Okay, no, listen. If they have them two finish top 4 with ease, and then PSG would also finish with ease.
Okay, so
Man United would struggle for 4th.
no.
Who else is there? Spurs probably not even in the picture anymore. They're gone. Liverpool, fully fit, will probably be fighting. And that's probably it, because West Ham probably wouldn't be in the picture anymore. Aston Villa is long gone already. Arsenal won't be there. Leicester possibly will be fighting for top 4. Those would be the teams that fight for top 4.
Okay,
I don't see PSG.
but that's what I'm saying. There's six. How many teams did you name? 6 teams to fight top 4.